Welcome back to another episode of Queenish. It is your girl Key.
And it's Raven.
Welcome back, girl. How was your week?
It was kind of long, actually. How was yours?
I don't know how my week was. It was okay. It was all right. Nothing happened really, but it was like a regular week. It went by kind of fast.
Mine was long. I guess because I was trying to get ready for work. I've actually been working. Because, usually at home I'm fake working.
Girl.
Don't tell my supervisor that.
Look, I had my moments too. But no, this week went by fast. I think I blinked. I remember I woke up one morning. I was like, what day is it? And I was like, oh, it's Thursday. It was really Wednesday. And then I think I woke up Thursday thinking it was Friday. But I like when that happens. I'm like, oh, that means the week is going by faster. Because I'll be mad if I woke up thinking it was a Thursday and it was a Tuesday.
True. That's true. But the weekend goes by too fast for me.
It does. I'm telling you, I need another holiday.
We can schedule one.
I'm here for it.
Because all we have is Labor Day coming up. And I need something this month.
I do. We need to have a holiday every month. There should be some type of holiday every month. Everybody needs at least a mandatory day off.
Let's make our own.
I mean, I do that too. I'll be like, look.
This is official Queenish Day. I cannot come to work. I don't care nothing about what y'all talking about.
I don't.
I'm not asking for PTO. I'm telling you that my black ass ain't gonna be here. So y'all figure that out.
Girl, I never asked. I just put in the thing.
Girl, I'll be putting in PTO after I done booked the flight.
I'll just send the thing in. I'll be like, and I'll ping my manager, hey girl, can you approve my PTO? Sometimes I ain't even gonna do it because me and her, we cool. She'll just, as soon as I send it in, I get the email, your PTO's been approved, thanks. I don't even tell her where I'm going. I just put in PTO on this day.
Must be nice.
I ain't gotta ask no permission. It ain't your job to know why I'm taking time off anyway.
I mean, they don't ask, but mine just be sitting there for a little while. And
they sit there.
Because they wait until they go back and approve all the time at one time. So.
Oh, no. Yeah. Girl, I could walk into work at 9 o'clock in the morning and put in PTO and it'll get approved in 10 minutes.
Wow.
The only thing at my job that they request is that you just give us 2 days notice. That's all they say.
Wow. I have to give them at least 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
And if I do like a week before, I go talk to my supervisor and it have to be like a legit
conversations about taking time off?
Girl,
I don't be doing that.
I work on the plantation. Why you think I'd be so ready to run away?
That's it. I don't be liking all that.
I want to be in the house too. Cause listen,
not in the house.
They don't treat me right.
It could be Monday and we only been working for 2 or 3 hours. And I'm like, I need a day off, and I'll just put in my day.
Cannot relate. Must be nice,
girl. Look, it took a while for me to get where I'm at. Thank you, Jesus, girl. Because I remember the struggle.
Well, shit, I'm still struggling. One day I want to have my nice big girl job too with some big girl money.
Shut up, because you do have a big girl job.
Okay, but I need like some rich bitch money because
I need
spend
rich bitch money
like
too.
A rich bitch.
So do I. You know what I told my mom? I was like, Mom, I said, I realized the other day that when we go out to eat, I never look at how much my food costs ever. I just look at what I want and I order it. Mm-hmm. And I said, sometimes I look after I've decided I want it. And Mom said, sometimes I don't even bother looking.
Come on, Mom.
I told her all the time, you are spoiled. She deserves it. Aww. Absolutely deserves it. But she be like, I don't look either. I'm like, of course you don't, because you ain't ever paying.
Come on, Queen.
Like, you don't pay. Mama, what you talking about? But I remember the last time I ate a meal and actually looked at how much it costs. I just order what I want.
Well, when we went out to the winery that past weekend, we spent money like drug dealers.
Girl, we ordered everything.
I was like, that flatbread good? I want another one.
What?
Give me a bottle of wine. I want another flight.
Girl, left with bottles of wine. Had the whole girl.
And this wasn't no cheap wine.
It wasn't no cheap wine. You're right. Now that we look like we drug dealers.
That's okay. That's how I like to look.
Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. Think what you want. You'll never know.
Period.
You'll never know. My pockets are my pockets.
So you know not to come with no cheap shit. Okay.
Girl, I'm happy. And my mom, the last time I looked at a menu and said, ooh, that costs too much, I just said, oh, I want this. And I be turning around, y'all want an appetizer?
Ooh, girl, the wealth is jumping out at me. Come on, wealth.
Girl.
So y'all niggas know, you cannot be taking Queen Kiara to no cheap place and be talking about you got a budget of $20.
What? My meal by itself.
Literally.
My meal by itself, not including drinks, might be almost $20.
Girl, me ordering some Chinese food be $20 by myself.
Like, if a nigga tell me 2 for $20, I mean, if what I wanted was on the 2 for $20, if we went to a place that had a 2 for $20, maybe I might be like, all right, I mean, that's what I wanted anyway. But most times my meal by itself will be at least between $15 and $20.
Yeah, but I don't want
that ain't including drinks.
That's true. If we drink and drink it.
We drink it.
I've been drinking. But what I don't want you to do is tell me I need to order off the 2 for $20, because then I'm going to want something else.
If you ask me to go out to eat with you, you should expect to have money to pay for the meal.
Of course.
What are you doing?
Have you seen these niggas today?
Well, I don't know, because the last person I was in a relationship with, I was spoiled.
Yes, you were.
We didn't worry about that. Girl, that was a long time ago, though. But the last person I was really in a relationship with, same thing with him. We just ordered whatever we wanted.
Well, are we talking relationships or Well, last time I had...
Relationship-wise, yes. Like, situationships out.
I mean, my last
situation...
Right. Well, some situationships from last year... They did spend money. They did take me out. I would say that. They took me out.
Yeah, they did.
They did. That's the only thing they did, right?
Situationships? I mean, yeah, but they've done stuff for me, but like, as far as like in a relationship, it was way different. The last person I was with, we didn't. Child, we would have bar tabs that would be high. I mean, I'm talking about one time the bartender came to us and said, I just want to let you know, your bar tab is already at $100.
Okay.
I ain't never got a warning before. I was like, oh, we at 100? And then he looked at me like, why he come and tell us that? Like, he think we about to leave.
He was like, y'all niggas is wilding in here.
Or he must be like, these niggas ain't gonna pay.
He just wanted to make sure that y'all knew y'all budget.
I ain't going.
What was y'all niggas drinking?
Look, we had a lot of nights.
I bet.
Where I feel like bar tabs, like, and let's say we went to dinner too that night. We ordered drinks at dinner probably, and then we went out and went to a bar or something. Girl, I was at least 80. That was probably the lowest I've seen was $80 bar tab. Everything else was girl.
I think I've had like one night like that when my little situationship, when we went out to the club, had a section, he bought a bottle.
Oh yeah.
We ended up at the strip club. He gave me stacks of money, some drinks. Girl, no, nights like that.
Those be some good nights though.
Yeah, until you wake up the next morning and be like, what the hell happened?
See, I be knowing in the moment when it be high, I be looking at him like, yo, we could split it. Like,
oh, I never. Mm-mm.
No, see, but this is what he never let me pay for nothing. Like, he was like, no, you're not paying for nothing. But I would be like, yo, for us to just be spending over $100 on drinks.
Okay, I mean, I get that.
I'm like, please, like, we could like split it. It could be 80-80, like whatever. He's like, nah, I got it. I said, well,
that sounds beautiful. That sounds like he rare. That's all I'm gonna say.
Look,
because niggas would be like 2 drink max.
I ain't had no boyfriend since.
That says a lot.
Look, I would never be with him again because I could care less for that nigga. Mm-hmm. But I can't go below that. Like, that's the last level I was at. I can't date down.
You could never, because you'd be backtracking.
Girl, what? That backtrack?
I don't like that. Oh, that's a topic for another day.
Whole another day. Mm. But thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on IG at Queenish_podcast. And if you have questions or need advice, you can email us at queenishpod@gmail.com. And we're about to get into Jester News.
What else could he be but a jester? A jester? A jester? A funny idea, a jester.
So recently, London on the Track aka his government name is London Holmes. He is a famous Atlanta producer, and I'm sure you've heard any of his songs. You've probably heard his tag name when it say, "We got London on the track."
Hey.
That's him. That is him. He's done songs like Lifestyle by Rich Gang, My Type by Sweetie, Triggered by Janae, and literally like the whole last album of Summer Walker.
Every song she's ever made.
Every song. Like the mother of his son, I think her name is Darea Jones. He has a 1-year-old son with her named Cairo. She is known on Instagram by her handle at Daybella. She doesn't really do much. She's just a social media influencer and a stay-at-home mom. And she is trying to fine London for $1,000 for every day that he delayed taking a DNA test. $1,000 for every day that he pushed that back. And she believes that the reason he was avoiding taking the test was because he was trying to avoid having to pay her child support. It gets better. So she asked the judge for emergency support due to lack of child support because supposedly he hasn't paid child support since February. And this, because of the lack of support, has forced her son to be on Medicaid.
Wait, I didn't know that last bit.
That's why she wants the judge to award her emergency support because he's on Medicaid. Supposedly, I guess he was denying the baby might have been his. So she took the DNA test. Of course, the baby is his. She posted the results. And when she posted it, she left a comment on the post saying it was never a doubt. And she said it's sad it took the courts having to get him to step up to be a man and to be a father.
So from what I heard is that the DNA test that they took wasn't the court-ordered one. So the court wanted them to take another one, which is the one he's stolen on, right?
Right. See, you heard that, and I heard something else that said they had attempted to take one before, but the results came back inconclusive. And so they had to take another one, which was the court-ordered one. And he was pushing back having to take that test. And she says because probably trying to delay having to pay her child support.
I mean, I get her wanting the assistance, but I don't think that man needs to be fined $1,000 a day and he don't need to go to jail for that. I don't think he needs to go to jail for that. Should he get a fine for stalling? Sure. Does her baby need emergency assistance for being on Medicaid? No.
She's trying to blame him for that because he wasn't paying child support. It forced her to have to get insurance through Medicaid.
Okay, but he still has insurance. Granted, that might not be what she wanted, but he has something. But my thing is, where does she step in as a mother and go and get some money?
Thank you. Because I was like, why are you blaming him for being your child having to be on Medicaid? Because you're just as much responsible for that child as he is.
Right.
So you are supposed to make sure your baby has insurance and can be fully taken care of. Why are you just assuming that because this is the father of your child, you don't have to do nothing? You finding him $1,000 a day just kind of like show me the type of like she has a lot of followers. I've seen her on Instagram before. I just thought she was a Instagram model, and apparently that's all she is because I couldn't find nothing that she's done really. But the only thing that was listed about her was the fact that she was an influencer and a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, so my question is, what has she been doing to take care of herself before this baby? So if she made enough money to take care of herself, why does she not have any money? I mean, granted, I'm not excusing him for not taking care of his child.
Right.
He should, but I'm just trying to understand where the emergency assistance comes in because she's acting like she has no money at all. So does she have no money?
I guess not. For you to request it, I don't know if it's her being out of spite or what, but to request, I need emergency assistance because he has been paying money. I am confusion. Like what? And then to find him $1,000 a day, I guess that's her way of trying to supplement for him not paying the child support. So since you delayed doing the DNA test and wasn't paying child support, the way I can supplement that loss I took is by charging you $1,000 a day. So you charging him $1,000 a day. 1 month, he's supposed to pay you maybe $30,000.
She crazy as hell.
Another month, 31 maybe.
Does she know there's a thing called back child support? So she could still get that money back. I don't think it's right to fine that man $1,000 a day. Because now it just sounds like she's just being spiteful.
Yeah. I feel like at the end of the day, like you said, you can get back child support. And since we know it's his baby officially, she said she never had a doubt. Maybe London did. I don't know. But either way, she was trying to say he makes this much money. He's worth this much. So it shouldn't be a problem. You can, everything you want, you can get in back child support. I'm not going to say on topic, because more than likely, what if the courts do award her back child support? So he's going to have to pay you regular child support, back child support. And then if you do get, let's say that what you filed does go through, you're going to end up charging him $1,000 every day for him not taking a DNA test. Since February, apparently he hasn't been paying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get her being upset, but I don't think that's the way to go about it. And also her doing that is going to put a big strain on that relationship anyway. And so say he does get locked up and charge $1,000 a day.
What then?
Guess what? He about to be pissed off at you. He gonna do something spiteful to get back at you. Might use the child.
Yeah. She probably her too. A lot of people use their child as pawn in a lot of their little adult games that has nothing to do with the child.
Right, and I think that's terrible.
Trash.
I wonder what happened for him to all of a sudden stop taking care of that child in February. Like, they were good at first. I wonder if they fell out. So now it's making me think it's not about the child, but maybe between them. But also, he's been with Summer for a while, so I don't know.
And you know what? I haven't seen nothing about Summer come up into this conversation or about him and her, so I think she's staying out of it, which granted don't have nothing to do with you, because they've only been dating maybe a year now. The baby's only a year old, so all this happened way before you ever really came into the picture. Maybe not. Who knows?
I want to say it was fresh, because I remember her talking shit about, I didn't know if he had more than one baby mama, but I remember her going back and forth about some baby mama situation concerning him earlier on. So maybe that was it.
But why would she be commenting on that?
I guess because it was upsetting her man. Who knows? Who knows?
I'm not that type of girl.
Regardless, it wasn't her place.
Yeah, I'm not that type of girl where I'm going to be jumping into my boyfriend's baby mama situation. That's between you and the mother of your child.
Right.
If I'm your wife, then I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do as the step parent to your child. But I don't need to be over here getting into nothing with you, because she could mess up that relationship too, just by you running your mouth.
Right.
Because let's say he really want to see his child. If you run your mouth, guess what? You think you gonna see your child?
Nope, you just caused more issues.
More issues that had nothing to do with you. Stay in your lane sometimes. Sometimes every fight ain't your fight. You could support your man and not have to jump in. I mean, unless that woman physically attacked him or did something crazy, that's different. But
that's your fight, baby.
Right.
Any man that I dealt with that had a baby mama, that's your fight.
Okay.
I don't have nothing to do with that. I can't tell that woman how to feel because I don't have your children. So y'all figure that out. Yeah.
Any dude I ever dated who had kids, I never met the baby mothers because our relationship never got to a point where I needed to, maybe one, but it never got to a point where I needed to really meet them. I was never around their kids. And for me, I'm just the type of girl where I'm real respectful about that, because I already know that situation, that dynamic is just real touchy. And any woman, because if I had a child and the man that I had a child with had another girlfriend he was serious about, I'm gonna want to meet you. It's a whole different type of thing, because if you're around my child nowadays, people be molesting kids, doing you ain't gonna be shaking my baby, whatever you want to do with touching my child. I need to know who you are, what type of person you are. Can I trust that my kid can be around you? Like, there's a lot that goes into that, but I'm definitely not gonna jump in and cause no problems that didn't exist just because I'm in the picture. I'm gonna be like, look, that's between y'all.
Right. Unless that bitch come at me sideways, then that's a different story.
And none of them has never came. The only thing I've ever heard as far as chatter or noise that came from the baby mamas was that they just didn't like me.
For what? Because
I was pretty. That was literally the only reason. That was the only reason.
Baby girl, stuff your cookies up. What's wrong?
Like the most I heard was she saw a picture of you and she don't like you. I'm like, she saw a picture of me. I'm like, so how she see a picture of me? Like, You had a picture of me on your phone or something? Like what? Like why would she not like me off of a picture?
That's very ugly of her. And I mean that more with inside and out. Like, because how insecure can you be? You've never met me. You don't know me from a can of paint, but you don't like me because you saw me.
I'm the type of girlfriend you would want for your baby daddy because I would be the type that would be telling him, go get your kids.
Right.
Like, did you go get your son? You ain't got to hang out with me. Go get your son. Have a day with your son or your daughter or whatever you got to do. I would be encouraging him to be a good father. I'm not the type that's going to tell him, no, you're with me. Forget them kids. Nah, I'm be like, go spend time with your kids. And until she's comfortable or you're comfortable with me being around your children, then we can all hang out with your kids and have a day with your children. But if not, that ain't my battle. That is not my battle.
I just can't. I still can't get over that, though. I don't like her.
That was literally, and there was one time, this was like years ago. I think I was in college, and I was, you know who it was. And I was dating him, and he was like, yo, my baby mama might call you. And I was like, why would she call me? Because, like, me and him was so, like, fresh. I was like, why would she be calling me? Like, there's no need for her to call me. And he was like, because she went through my phone and saw how much I be talking to you and saw your number in my phone a lot, so she might call you. Skirt. First of all, nigga, red flag, red flag. Why she going through your phone?
This is your baby mama that you are not in a relationship and you're not in a relationship with her anymore and you shouldn't be fucking her. So why does she feel comfortable going through your phone?
Thank you.
Why does she care that you're talking to me?
But she talked to me for... We was fresh. Like, we wasn't in no relationship. We was talking.
Had you even met his kids yet?
No. So I didn't ask to meet them either because I didn't know what I wanted to do with him. I didn't know what me and him was doing. Naturally. I don't want to meet your kids if I don't know what we and you do. Like, we was like seriously dating.
Right.
But we wasn't in no relationship.
Naturally, which would make sense because I don't want to meet your kids yet if we're not going to do...
Yeah.
So what does she need to talk to you about?
I don't know. I don't know. Why any woman that's going through your phone has some type of something with you. I'm not going through no nigga phone that ain't my man. And honestly, if you my man, I really don't care to go through your phone.
I've never been through anybody's phone.
Never. I don't care to go through your phone. But I'm like, if she going through your phone and looked through there and found my number and told you she was going to call me, what y'all got going on?
Right, because she's real comfortable. So they had something going on. Because if she's just your baby mama and your relationship is strictly for the kids... She shouldn't even have access to your phone.
Besides doing a drop off and a pickup?
Right. If she's not calling you or texting you, why is she going through your phone?
Going through the phone. I was like...
And why are you letting her?
I just let him talk.
So he's still smashing the baby mama.
Niggas be telling on themselves all the time. And I just be letting them talk. And I just be like, That's all I say. What?
Listen. You be getting the truth out. You are the nigga whisperer. Because you will let a nigga lie himself right out his damn drawers.
Girl.
And I'd be like, wow, he really just he put all his cards on the table.
Nothing. You just got to ask the right questions. I said something about you anyway, but now you just confirmed it. So I'm like, thanks, friend.
Thanks, nigga. Thanks, we're not even friends
what
anymore.
Up, bruh? You gonna get all of them.
Stranger.
But yeah, guys, let me know how y'all feel about how this whole situation with London on the track and his baby mama. Do y'all agree with this whole charging $1,000 a day for support?
Okay, should we get into the throne talk?
Yes, let's get into the throne.
Everybody knows me. I'm a queen. This is called royalty over here, okay? I'm not stepping off my throne to address no bum, no chicks that are beneath me, and nobody that has not worked as hard as I worked for anything.
Our topic today is wealthy women being in relationships with quote unquote broke men. Ooh.
Tea for your ass.
I hope y'all got something to drink right now. So something I've seen going around is what Supa sent and her fiance / baby daddy. Give y'all a little backstory. So if you don't know who Supa Cent is, she's a social media influencer and founder of the very successful makeup brand, The Crayon Case.
Yes, Black owned.
Yes. And she was cheated on by her fiance / baby daddy, Lou, with an underage catfish. So supposedly this is the second time that he has cheated on her.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what Lou does for a living. Did before her, but I know he started a clothing line with Super after they got together. So it's safe to say she makes more money than him, and she is the breadwinner in this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a lot right there.
Girl.
That I just take it in, because pretty much they're saying that Super looks stupid.
Right.
Because she was the provider, and this man played her not once but twice.
And this time supposedly with an underage girl.
Yes,
a catfish.
A catfish at that.
I saw the tweets. Did you see her tweets?
Uh-uh.
She did a tweet, I guess, when the girl that the girl used to catfish him, she came out and was like, "That's not me. I've never spoken to him." She was like offended by it. And then Super was like, "It's so sad that this nigga like literally threw his whole family away for a catfish."
Damn.
And she was like, "And I'm not staying around to find out whether it's true or not." She was like, "I'm out." And I don't blame her, because I would leave too. I'm not going to stay around to find out the truth. That's to be at that level of celebrity and to be publicly embarrassed like that is a lot. And for that to be, I forgave you the first time, I'm going to forgive you the second time, and this time it's with an underage girl at that, I would have deuced him out too.
Right, and he knew she was underage. That's what makes it even...
Yeah, because she definitely didn't lie about it. She was like, "Yeah, I'm 17 or whatever." And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, my little jailbait or some shit
or
like
juvie,
that. Or juvie.
something.
Yeah. And I was like, cringe. Because, nigga, what?
He got to be like 30, at least in his 30s.
Too old to be talking to a 17-year-old.
17-year-old.
Girl.
Child.
But do you think that wealthy, successful women should be in a relationship with quote-unquote broke men? And can the relationship be successful?
I don't know. I say no. And I say no because I feel like I'm big on, I don't want to take away the dynamic of the way a relationship is supposed to be. A man is supposed to be a provider. Like, I'm not saying if I'm a millionaire and you're not a millionaire, if you don't make as much as me, whatever, you can eventually make as much. You got to be like out there trying to make it, because if you with someone successful, I should be motivating you to try to match me. Mm-hmm. Or meet me where I'm at to a certain extent. You shouldn't be like, "She got it, so I'm gonna just sit back and chill because no matter what, I know she already got it." Nah, you should be trying to do what you need to do. But at the same time, like, if I'm doing what I have to do, I feel like at some point there's gonna be like an underlining resentment. Mm-hmm. Because if I'm making more money than you, and as a man, sometimes your ego, your self-confidence is in the power you have financially. Mm-hmm. Some men put everything into money. Like, if they have money, they feel good about themselves. They feel like they can get any girl in the world. So if you don't have money and you with a woman who has more than you, somewhere in there, something lining up in that, you feel less than.
And then he can't make the decisions, because ultimately the breadwinner makes the decisions for the household. I mean, she can consult with you, but
right.
I could see how it could bruise a man's ego.
Oh, yeah. And some men are comfortable with that.
And honestly, to me, that's really disgusting.
It's disgusting.
It is for you to think that you can live off a woman. That's very unattractive. Big turn off.
Completely. And I don't want to be with no dude who feels like if she makes more, I don't have to work as hard because no matter what, I know she got it covered. No. I make more because I push myself to like reach what I did to make a certain amount of money. Mm-hmm. You need to be doing the same thing.
Like, I'm not cool with that. How do you think Adele ended up with her giving her ex how much money? She's worth like $190
million.
She gave him
$140 million.
Listen,
in a divorce.
I would kill that man dead before I give him $140 million of my money and leave me with 50.
What?
See, like, why does he think that's okay? He's been living off her, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna continue to live off of you." And the judge that gave him that money,
trash.
your mama's a hoe.
Right.
Because how do you think that's okay? He wasn't with Adele writing these songs.
Was he doing the backgrounds?
He wasn't in her in the studio.
Ooh,
No.
No, nigga, you wasn't hitting none of them notes.
And even if he was helping her write the songs, he get his writer's credit. It's still not worth no $140 million.
Because Adele was, before she met him, she already had at least, I think she had her first album out before she got with him and got married. Because it took her a while to put that other one out because she was like, I'm married, I want to be a mom and a wife and whatever. I think that's how her timeline is. But for him to get $140 million out of my 190, granted, I think they said she also didn't have a prenup. So clearly she was with him for love. Like, I love this man. He ain't gonna do nothing wrong. Girl, if you're worth more than him, if that's not proof.
And honestly, that's the hard thing. Because I'm the type of person, I want to marry a man for love, not for what he has. Right. But when you're in this type of position, when you're a successful woman, and this man maybe not be as accomplished as you got to think about this shit.
Right. You have to. If I was Beyonce and I was dating the postman, I'm getting the prenup.
And the honest is like, should I even date him? If I have to go to that point where I have to think about, if we don't work out, will this nigga try to take everything that I own? That's crazy. So it's like, should me being a wealthy woman, should I go for a man that makes at least the same as me or more?
Right. And you know, it's so weird because the higher I reach my goals career-wise, the more that thought crosses my mind. Because before I used to have the mentality of, you know, as long as he's like hard-working man, if he doesn't make as much as me, because sometimes some men don't take the route we went as far as like the decisions we made with our life. And going to school or whatever the case may be. So maybe he got a job and that's the best job he could get at the time.
Right.
Like, you can always get another job. You can always make more money. There's money out here to be made. You have to be the hardest working man. Don't be no lazy dude out here. Like, if you the butcher at the grocery store, be the best butcher at the grocery store. Don't be the lazy one that everybody knows is lazy and they can't wait to fire you. They can't fire you because they ain't found nobody else. And then you think you straight. Like, if you fall off or if you get fired, you could be like, damn, babe, I lost my job today. And then you gonna be looking at me with them eyes like, can you hold a nigga down? And I'll be like, why'd you get fired?
Right.
You got fired because you lazy. I ain't even got to go clock in with you to know that you ain't doing shit.
You lack ambition.
Like, you're not. And if you go be in one role... Like, there was one guy I dated. I ain't gonna say we dated, we talked or whatever. I guess it's the same thing. We dated. Whatever.
No, it's a difference. But
I think there's a difference too, but whatever. I guess we talked, we dated, whatever. And he had the job he had. He had that job for 5 years. And he was complaining about money. And to me, I'm like, when I complained about money, you know what I did? The next year I had another job. I was uncomfortable with what I was making. I felt like I wanted more. And I went out there and I looked for another job. He stayed in the same job, making the same money. He never got a raise for 5 years. And was talking about how, man, I don't have no money. I don't have no extra nothing. All this money go to bills. I never have enough to even just buy myself something nice for myself. And I'm like, yo, you've been in the same role for 5 years. Why aren't you the manager? Because if you felt like you couldn't find another job, you could at least been the manager. You stayed in the same exact position, making the same exact money for 5 consistent years. And you were uncomfortable making that money. You were uncomfortable with the job you had. And you never had nothing in you to say, you know what, if I'm going to still be here, I'm at least make more money by being a manager.
Right. What did he do to try to level up?
He didn't. He stayed where he was at and complained. Like, don't complain about where you're at and you're not trying to make no strides to change it. When I was uncomfortable making a certain amount of money, I went and got another job. And when I didn't like that job, I went and got another job. Like,
I mean, that's
how that works.
The person you are. You're ambitious. So you need an ambitious man. Because if not, he's going to get left behind or he's going to hold you back. But in your case, he'll probably get left behind.
Like, all that would have been cute when it was like fresh out of high school, in my college days, when we ain't got nothing. We 2 college students trying to figure it out. Nobody really got nothing figured out when you in school. All your focus is I'm just trying to graduate. Yeah. Like, I'm just trying to cross the stage. Those are the times where I would have grinded it out with you. But now at this level, at this page of my life, this chapter in my life that I'm at, I can't do the things that would have been acceptable at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, whatever. That whole age range. Now at my age, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
I've worked too hard to get what I have. You're going to hold me back, and you're going to end up taking time from me that I could have had to get me to a whole other place.
Girl. I felt that. Because, listen, I done had some moments where I shouldn't have been talking to some of these niggas that...
Oh, for sure.
They definitely were... Like, listen, I'm somebody that got multiple degrees, and I shouldn't be crying over no nigga that only got a birth certificate. That's all I'm saying.
Girl.
Listen, I ain't trying to knock nobody hustle. If you work and you get money and that's the best that you can do what you can do. Mm-hmm. But some of these dudes out here are hella complacent.
Yes.
Like they're just content with just being regular. And regular is something that I am not. That
Girl.
We are not.
It makes my ass itch.
Listen.
I get so irritated.
It's really irritating because then you want to be with somebody like me. You see how I carry myself. And the thing is, this makes me realize I'm never going to settle for less ever again. Because I expect a certain caliber of things to be a certain way. Because this is what I provide for myself. So you are not going to come to me and provide less or not provide, live off of me, leech off of me, and think it's okay.
Oh yeah, they do think it's okay.
Yeah, they do, and that's the thing that's really scary to me because what happened to men wanting to be men? Now I'm not gonna say all men because there's still men out there that are providers,
right?
But a lot of men in this generation are really comfortable with their women taking on that pretty much head of household.
Yes.
She should not be the head of household, and then you wonder, my woman don't listen to me. First of all,
she's not your woman, she's your mother.
Period. You got to be a leader and a provider for a woman to want to follow you.
Girl, pass that collection plate.
Listen, how am I going to submit to you where you're not showing me that you're going to lead me in the right direction?
Like, it's a requirement for me. I have to be with a man who is a leader and a visionary. Because the type of things that I'm doing, that I'm working towards, I can't be with someone who does not have that mentality. I cannot be with a man who's not naturally a leader. Because if so, me personally, I ain't trying to be with no nigga that I can tell what to do. If I want to tell you what to do, I'll have a baby or I'll go get a dog.
Right.
There's ways for me to get somebody in here to listen to what I need. Like, if I say go do it, I can have somebody in here to go do it. If you're my man, I don't want to feel like you're my son. And I don't want you to feel like in some way or another, whether it was intentional or not, that you felt emasculated by me because you just wasn't doing what I needed you to do for me. If you want a woman who, that's why I kind of say like date on your level in a sense. And a lot of people feel like, well, what's your level? But I feel like if you want a girl who's like ambitious in doing that, and if you're not quite at that place, then you don't need to go for that girl because you're going to hold her up or slow her down. Either you work to catch up and meet her where she's at. So that way, when you meet her, y'all can level up together. Y'all push each other. Y'all motivate each other. But don't come to her with the glass half empty and say, well, can I get some of your water?
Half empty? Because I done had niggas come to me with, they don't even got a damn glass. Can you give me a glass and fill it up with water?
Like nigga, like, and I'm all for grind it out because again, like I feel like I'm not where I want to be yet. So I feel like for me, my mentality is always constantly on elevation mode. I'm always looking for ways to elevate myself. I'm always looking for ways to grow. I'm always looking for ways to be a better person or whatever. So I don't want to be with no one who has the mentality of, well, this is cool.
Right, and they're just good with it.
It ain't cool because when you ain't good, you're going to come running to me because before it was your mother that you was running to if you needed help. Now that you got a girl, you want now the expectation. I hate niggas who have this mentality. You supposed to hold me down. I thought you was going to hold me down.
Oh.
Nigga, what? Like, and these will be sometimes for men who are not even yet, like, you not even my boyfriend. Like, we have nothing. Like, I have if you left me today and I didn't talk to you for the next 6 months, you would just be another nigga. Like, I wouldn't even know who you were. Right. So it's like, why do you have the expectation when you met me that I'm supposed to hold you down or help build you up to be whatever it is that you want to be already? You just didn't know how to do it on your own.
They want you to show that you're worthy. First of all, nigga, I don't need to prove anything. Because 99% of the time, you're a nigga that has approached me. You're pursuing me. Why do I need to prove myself to you? I don't need to prove that I'm loyal or worthy or any of that shit, because you should know me by my character. And I'm not going to prove it by holding you down.
I have to do
Because you ain't proved shit to me yet.
Nothing.
Why would I hold you down so you can dip? And another thing is, I just don't understand why these men are comfortable dating when they are not where they need to be.
Yes.
And granted, I'm not reached where I want to be completely. But I also know when I'm in a space where I shouldn't be dating and when I should. Like, if I'm out here grinding, like I'm working, I don't have my shit together. Like, niggas be out here, you don't have nowhere to live. But you out here worried about dating. You on the dating apps.
Girl.
Why are you worried about finding a girlfriend? You need to be working and go find you somewhere to live.
Yes.
You're couch hopping right now. Why is that okay with you? Women are built different. I don't know any women that will be out here looking to entertain some niggas when they're not at a good place.
Girl, if like you said, if you couch hopping, then right now you need to find someone that couch hops with you. Like,
no, you don't deserve that.
But if you want to date someone, then you again date someone who doing the same thing you doing, because that way y'all don't out level each other. She on the same person like you. She mirrors you. Like, go be with someone who mirrors you. Don't go and date someone who's at a whole different space, and then you want to turn around and make it seem like, well, I thought you was, and you have all these expectations because you want her to save you from the situation you at, because you're uncomfortable where you at. I see you're already where you're doing things I want to do, which is why you're probably attracted to me. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm at a point where can't nobody come and mess this up.
Right.
Everything I've done, there is no way you're going to mess up nothing. And I'm so big on, like, you have to be established, when at least have the basics. And the basics, some niggas think are accomplishments. Like, nigga, having a car and a place to stay is not an accomplishment. That's what you're supposed to have.
I have a job, a car, a place to stay. All right. And what else?
You're supposed to have those
You're
things.
a grown-ass man. And if you didn't have those things, I would be concerned.
Completely. I'm tired of niggas not having bank accounts either. Like,
ooh, child.
Why are we still cashing checks?
Can you take me over here to the, what the hell is the advanced?
Girl.
Can you take me over here so I can cash this?
Like, at this point, if you don't have...
I'm sorry, there's a Bank of America we're passing. Here's a Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo. Something. Credit Union.
SunTrust. BB&T. I don't know what these banks call.
Like, there's plenty of options for you to get an account. Hell, you can get Wood Forest. The one at Walmart.
Something.
Like, establish yourself and have stop acting like the basics are accomplishments, which makes you qualified as a man for whatever. Like, that's something you're supposed to have. You're supposed to have a place to stay. You're supposed to have a car. You're supposed to have a job. Because if you don't have those things, what are you? Homeless.
Period. And that goes for women too. Because there are women out here that will be out here trying to find a nigga and they ain't even got a damn bed to sleep in.
Girl, they ain't got a lid that match the pot.
Listen, and you should have your shit together too.
Yeah. Everything that... The things that I'm saying that I need is because I have them myself.
Right.
So whatever I ask or require of the person that wants to be in some form of a relationship with me romantically, that's not a far-fetched request.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to get on the bus.
I don't want to be on no bus. I don't want to be on no bus and spend all day trying to get to one place. I'm not that type of girl. I don't want to have to wait around on certain stuff. I want to be able to go. When I want to leave, I want to be able to leave. So that requires having a car. And the same thing with the person I'm with. If I say pull up, right, can you pull up? Or if you want me to come hang out with you.
Right. It shouldn't always be, oh, well, you got the car. You got to pull up on me.
And then have your own space. Like, ain't nothing wrong with having a roommate if you have a roommate. Because sometimes the way the economy is nowadays, sometimes these apartments are expensive. Sometimes you will have a roommate. I'm not bashing that. But don't be at the age right now, be 30 plus and be like living with your mom.
You should have your own room.
At least.
And not be on somebody's couch. Ooh, I just did something to myself. Just
and don't expect to move in with me.
Girl.
Don't have that expectation either.
Now that's a big term. I don't know why dudes think that shit is cute. Cause I've met niggas that I'm saying like we known each other for 2-3 weeks. When we go move in together, I'm sorry, sir, I don't even remember your last name. Why do you think that you should live in my house?
Like they're not joking.
They'd be dead ass serious. When we gonna live together? Oh, it's because you're homeless. I found out now.
Yeah,
that's why.
Because you're trying to get off the couch. I've had a few say that. Oh, and then they'll try to play that we're gonna beat it. I want to be with you. I feel like you're the one. You gonna be my wife one day. Da, da, da. And then like they come in, like let's say, and I'm like, and I don't even let a lot of people come to my house because just one, I'm just big on everybody don't need to know where I stay. Everybody don't, and some of these females stop having all these niggas pull up and come to your house all the time. Like everybody don't need to have that type of access to you.
Keep all that negative energy out of my house. There.
I don't believe in that. Like
we're not cool like that. I gotta be comfortable around you to bring you in my space.
Yeah, you don't need that type of access because some people get that type of access and they feel like, well, hey, what you doing? I'm about to come over. Don't tell me that you're about to come over here.
Ooh.
Don't call me and you're not. We don't have that type of relationship for you to call me.
I'm the type of person that won't even open the text message. So you do that if you want to.
I've had people knock on the door, and I looked at them and I said, "That look like And I kept scrolling on my phone, and they was like, "Oh, I was just at your house." I was like, "Oh, really?" I was definitely inside.
Did you call?
You not. Nope. Like, you just felt comfortable to pop up. Since you felt comfortable to pop up, you felt comfortable to knock on the door and leave. I was definitely home. I sat on the couch, heard you knock. And I was about to start beatboxing with the notch.
like that's not cool. I wouldn't pull up on anybody like that. Anyway, we're not in that type of situation. Respect my space.
Mm-hmm. So with Adele, granted, Super's not married to Lou, but with Adele, all the money she's lost. Super, they're breaking up. There's not much that they need to split because he had his own business and was doing. I think it was doing okay because
I think they might have to split that because I want to say she has some share in that or something. Her name's tied to it.
Oh, maybe. But aside from that, her makeup company, I think she said she owns 3 homes and a commercial building, all in her name. I completely respect her for that because, and I think he was definitely living with her, but she said she had did a post one time where she was like, I guess someone asked her like, hey, I'm thinking about getting a place with my baby daddy. What do you think? She was like, I think you should get your own place. If he want a place, he can get his own place. You get a house, he got a house. Boom, y'all both got houses. She was like, I own 3 homes and a commercial building. They all in my name. Looking back at that.
Smart. The only way that we're going to have something in my name and your name together, we're going to be married. That's the only way. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to make sure I have my own.
Oh, yeah. Everything ain't got to be in our name. I don't even think I want to do joint accounts.
I don't believe in it.
I don't
whatsoever.
I don't want no joint account.
My account is my account. You don't need to worry about my money. However the bills are worked out, they'll get paid.
Yep.
But what's mine is mine.
Right. I don't think I want no nigga having no type of access to what I make like that. Like no type of nothing, no access whatsoever. If we did a joint something, it'll be maybe a joint savings where I put my money in the joint, you put your money in the joint. And that's a question mark, honestly.
That must be something for some type of house repair.
Yeah,
that'd be the only way.
Other than that, no, we could do separate. I don't even want to do all that.
So I'm thinking, so if Lou took advantage of her not once or twice, do you think that unaccomplished men that date wealthy women are opportunists?
I don't want to speak for all because some men don't have that mentality, but I would say yes. Because to what you don't have, she has. And you're probably looking at her to help you get that. There's benefits to being with someone who has the connections that they have, that has the wealth that they have. If he's unaccomplished, listen, I read somewhere that said you should always be with a man who is working on his purpose. A man who's working towards the goals he's trying to accomplish. You should not be with a man who has plenty of time for you is a man that you shouldn't be with. Because if he has plenty of time, that means he ain't doing nothing with his time.
Period.
And if he ain't doing nothing with his time, that means
He ain't got no money.
He ain't right. He ain't got no money. He probably doesn't have the drive or the mentality to want to do more. And if you're a woman who has like, this is what I'm working on, this is what I want to do, your mentality is way different from him. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like, yeah, in a sense, it is gonna be an opportunist because so I want to live a certain way. She got it. She gonna do it because she my girl and she gonna hold me down. That's how I feel.
You're not wrong. Because I feel like I've been in that situation before. Not that I'm wealthy, but definitely talked to some... That nigga was homeless. Let's call it what it is. Homeless, jobless. Don't ask me why I dated him. Yeah, take a drink. But now that I look back on it, I feel like any dude that I was with that had way less than me was being an opportunist.
For sure.
Even if I didn't see it at the time, later on I find out low-key these niggas be plotting.
They do. Not even low-key, high-key.
Listen, high-key plotting. Like, oh, I'm going to move in with her. She got it. She going to pay all the bills. Might even try to knock her up. Ha! 380. Okay, girl. Don't do that.
Girl.
Because listen, I kick you and the baby out. Fuck you and fuck them kids.
No, you know what? Everything you just said. And this is part of the reason why I said my most toxic relationship was New York. Because he said stuff like that. Like he legit, there was one time we had a conversation and why do I have to like work like or do whatever like this? I was like, what you mean?
I'm sorry?
That was the comment he made. I don't even know how we ended up having this conversation. Like, you know, why can't I be like a stay-at-home dad? I said, what?
Huh?
I said, he was a jokester, so I for sure was like, okay, this nigga playing with me. I know he playing with me because ain't no way you at your grown self gonna tell me and look me in my face and say, why can't I be a stay-at-home dad? And his words were, I mean, yeah, because like you're in your career, you got it, you good. Like I could be a stay-at-home dad. I could like watch the kids and take care of the kids or whatever. And I said, so you're telling me as a man, you're going to be comfortable? Because he was on this whole, we're going to get married and have kids kick. That was his biggest thing. Like, you're my wife.
Kids with an S.
Oh, yeah. He wanted multiple children.
While you're working. Oh, yeah. You're the only breadwinner.
He ain't caring about that.
You're the only one bringing in money.
Because he was like, if he would have worked, he eventually would have been like, I'm going to stop working. What, like, why not? Why can't I be a stay-at-home dad? And I can take care of the kids. And I told him, first of all, I said, that's not going to work for me. Ever. And then I told him, I said, and if I did, let's say I was out of my mind, because I would have had to been out of my mind to ever to agree to that. Mm-hmm. I said, what you going to do when the kids are school age? So let's say we had 2 kids. The kids are both now over the age of 5. They both going to school. What are you doing all day? And I said, and as a man, why are you comfortable with your queen?
Right.
Getting up early every day, going off to work, working hard all day, coming home. What are you doing? Because I mean, I would make sure the bath will be ready. You know, house will be clean, dinner's cooked. I don't care nothing about no bath.
He wanted to be a whole housewife. A house husband.
Am I with him?
Hell no.
So there are a lot of men who have that mentality.
That's
and when I tell
gross.
you he was comfortable having that conversation, there was no ha-ha. He never once laughed when he brought that up. And it was that whole, and I, like you said, opportunist type thing. It was like, well, you got it.
That right there is an opportunist.
And that, it was like, can you respect a man that makes less than you? If he's like, has that mentality, no. I can't respect a man who makes less than me. We cannot do that. What are we doing?
Not with that mentality, no. Not if you expect me to hold the whole household down and you're okay with me breaking my back every day and you're not trying to better yourself. Absolutely not. We're not going to work.
And he wasn't trying to better himself. That wasn't on his mind.
And he wants you to pop out the babies and go back to work. That's backwards as hell.
Oh my God, what? And he definitely wanted children.
I'm sorry, does he have children money?
No, and when it comes down to life decisions and stuff like that, I don't play around with life decisions and that type of thing. If we're going to talk about planning out things that could affect our finances, things that can change a dynamic of a whole situation, I don't play about that. That's the type of stuff I want to sit down, let's have a talk and plan that out. Everything else, we can wing it. We can figure that out as it go. I could make the crib. Nigga, I ain't seen you make...
Listen, Bob the Builder. This nigga, what has he built in his life?
First of all, I would never put my baby in no homemade bootleg crib that you trying to make, that you trying to practice making a crib.
I would not allow it.
I put my baby in no... let her get splinters. My baby get splinters or something? I'm not doing that.
My baby.
Right, because you...
So I'm going to be the daddy, and I'm going to buy my baby a nice crib.
Girl, I was like...
And tell Bob the fake builder to get the fuck on back to New York. Fuck you think this is?
He was so serious. I was like, first of all, I said, you gonna get wood? Where you get the wood from?
Home Depot.
You know what I'm talking about?
He gonna steal it?
Thank you. I said, wood costs money.
He's gonna be out here cutting down these damn trees.
You need an axe. An axe costs money.
Kitchen knife. I don't know. He gotta be creative. You know, broke niggas to be really creative.
Don't date.
Okay.
Look, don't date no nigga like that.
So he was gonna build a crib, and what about everything else the baby needs?
He was just trying to live off of somebody who was in a better position than him. Because I was in a better position, he felt like he didn't have to try.
And he was gonna drag you down the hill with him because you would have been taking. That's where you would have been taking care of him and a baby and yourself.
What you mean?
You would have been a little shell dried up in the corner somewhere.
No, I wouldn't. Because I would have left.
You right.
I would have left the same way I did. I would have left. I would have never let it get to no point. So no, I can't respect no man who don't have... You have to be accomplished. Like, have certain accomplishments. Because if not, I feel like you're just going to be looking at me and you're going to start feeling in some type of way. You're going to end up having some type of resentment towards me because you're going to feel like I'm more accomplished than you, or I'm further along than you, and I don't want us to ever feel like we're in competition. I want us to feel like we're on the same, where our goal is mirrors each other. We're both fighting for the same thing. We're both working towards the same thing. And if you have a vision or a goal for yourself that you want to accomplish, my job is to support you, and vice versa. But it should never be like, I don't ever want to feel like I'm married or I'm in a relationship with a son. I don't want to date a child.
Right. So do you think that a man would still respect you if you're more accomplished than him?
I think they will respect you for sure, but I think they will resent you to an extent. I think they will have respect for you because they're going to be like, damn, this girl worked her ass off and look how far she got. Look at all the stuff that she did. Like, I think they will respect you for that because they don't have a choice but to respect the grind. But I feel like when it comes down to long term, they're going to have some type of resentment if they're not matching you or getting to a point where they're like up there with you at some form of fashion. It doesn't have to be exactly what I'm doing, but if you're doing something where you're like, yo, you doing this and I'm doing this, like we both on our stuff. Like,
I would say I agree and disagree kind of, because from what I've seen, the men that are with quote unquote provider women, a lot of them end up cheating on the women. So it makes me think, do you really respect her as a woman? Because this woman is pretty much financing your life, taking care of you, and you feel comfortable cheating on her. That's the most disrespectful thing you could do.
Do you think they can be faithful ever?
I mean, I think any man can be faithful if he really wants to be. But that just comes down to, I feel like being faithful is a respect thing.
True.
If you love me enough and you respect me enough, you would never do anything like that to hurt me. So if you feel comfortable,
that's true,
cheating on me when I'm paying for everything or the majority of the things that we have, financing your lifestyle,
he better not.
The audacity of you.
Like,
that's disrespect to the highest level.
Absolutely. So here's a question. Why do you feel like successful women date men who are less accomplished?
I think because they're genuinely looking for love. And me and myself, I can personally say that I have dated people that I probably should have never, not probably, that I should have never dated, in the hopes of, well, I'm looking for love, and I'm looking at him as who he is as a person, his personality, and not for all that he does not have. But in the long run, that does make a big difference in your relationship. It's a big issue.
That's true.
Because I don't care what anybody says. A man can say that he's okay with you taking care of the household, but a man wants to be a man at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants his woman to be submissive to him. And I cannot be submissive to you if you are not a leader and a provider. And by provider, I don't mean you have to pay all my bills,
right,
every single thing, and I just sit here and do nothing.
Right.
But you should be the head of the household.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be leading. You need to take on the majority of the work.
Absolutely.
And make the majority of the decisions with my input.
Right. And I should be able to trust that. I should be able to trust my life with you.
Completely.
Because if you're head of house, you're supposed to be making decisions that impact my life. Can I trust you to lead my life?
Period.
And make decisions for me.
But these dudes don't make nobody feel comfortable enough to be submissive.
At all.
And I've had people tell me before, you're not submissive enough. Nigga, what have you done for me to just let you say whatever you want to do and I just follow what you do?
Submission is natural. A lot of men confuse that. A lot of men feel like, oh, they're just trying to be defiant. If you are who you're supposed to be and I'm comfortable with your leadership and your mentality, submission comes naturally.
Period.
Any man who's ever said that, I wasn't submissive to you because I didn't trust your opinion. I didn't trust your leadership. Mm-hmm. I didn't trust what you were doing with your own life separate from me.
Listen.
I'm looking at your track record with your own life and where you've led yourself up to this point in this phase of your life. Look at how far you've gotten yourself. Now, if you pull me in the mix, your dysfunction is normal.
Right.
And now, if you see dysfunction as normal, you're going to pull me into your dysfunction and try to convince me that this is normal, this is okay. And now I'm in a dysfunctional relationship. You go convince me we're supposed to have kids. We're going to raise dysfunctional kids to some extent. Like, I don't have time for that. Clean up, do your self-work, clean up your stuff. If you want a woman to submit to you, then you need to be a leader. And then in order for her to trust your leadership, sometimes you don't even have to tell her why you're a leader. It should just be in your presence.
Yeah, I don't think you need to tell me. When I know that this man is a man, this is a leader, his presence, everything about him will show me that he's a leader.
Yep. I've never had to question it.
Right.
You don't have to say it. The way you carry yourself, it will speak for volumes without you having to say a word. If I have to ask you certain questions to try to figure out where you are mentally, because just being around you, I'm already questioning like what he got going on. I'm be like, nah, I'm good. You have to. It's a consistent job. Like, life is something you're going to consistently work at. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't just feel like, oh, I'm at this phase of my life and I'm down in the dumps, so I'm gonna just stay down in the dumps, and then actively try to find people to be a part of like your life, and you're not in a good space, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. You're just not in a good space in any area, and then you want to invite someone into that chaos. That's completely unfair.
Misery loves company,
and I hate that. I hate that because now. Something that didn't have to become toxic is now toxic. Something that didn't have to be dysfunctional is dysfunctional, all because you didn't realize I'm not in a space to have nobody around me because I need to figure myself out right now. Work on it. Clean that up. Don't bring people into your madness and then hold me accountable for your madness.
Right. But that's where people just have to be accountable and to be able to recognize when they really need to get their shit together.
A lot of people don't think that there's nothing wrong.
I can name a few, but...
So let's do royal advice.
Ain't nobody said it was going to be easy, but it'll get easy when you learn how to love yourself. When you get to a point in your life where you look at people and you go, okay, wait a minute, you or me, you will make a decision.
What would you say your advice is?
I'm going to say from my personal experience, date a man that's at your level. Because listen, I've been there, done that. I've dated men that weren't necessarily on my level. I mean, like below my level, like below sea level, and and then
Pirates?
mermaids, freaking sea bass. I mean, you should definitely date somebody that's at least on your level or doing better than you. Somebody that's going to constantly motivate you, and someone that is not going to look at you to save them, take care of them, to drag you down, to leech off of you. Don't date somebody that can leech off of you. And granted, yes, date for love, but also keep in mind that there are niggas out here that are looking to trap you.
Girl.
What about you?
Girl. I think my advice would be, if you're in a certain path in your life and you're recognizing traits and then it does not match the direction you're going, then don't settle out just so you can say that you're with somebody. Because if you do that, you're backtracking. And then you're going to have to, once that relationship's over or once that settles out, you're going to have to pick up all those pieces, catch up to where you were when you met him, and then try to run up to where you could have been had you not invested that time into that person. Sometimes stuff comes down to mentality. Like sometimes money will come. So date someone who has the mentality of growth and evolution, not someone who has the mentality of complacency or the mentality of leech. Like, you got it, I'm gonna live off of you. Like, if he has that mentality, then he good, because that's in his character. If he don't have that mentality, then it ain't in him. What you see is what you get.
Listen, and it's not hard to see it. You'll know.
Yeah, you choose to ignore it. And don't feel like, stop dating projects. Every man is not, you're not a project manager.
I know.
Stop dating projects.
I feel like you're looking at me.
Stop dating projects and trying to build some of these men up to be what you want him to be. He don't want to be that for himself. So stop trying to make him be something that he don't want to do. If he wanted to be that, you wouldn't have to work so hard to build him up to be that way. Don't do that. You're not a project manager. That's not your title.
Let it go, baby girl. Let him do what he do.
Yeah.
And find somebody that's for you. And use that time to level up, because this is that's my favorite thing to do. I don't care what nobody say. I enjoy being single. That's my time to level up and work on myself. I get my most stuff done. My creativity is flowing. And then that's when that man that you need will come along.
He's going to see how hard you work and be like, yeah, whatever she got, I want to be around.
You're attracting all that energy, all that hard working energy, that ambitious energy. You're attracting that in. If you heard me, God, that was my... So I'm asking for it.
Look, God, if you heard me too.
Please. I mean, but if there ain't no more husbands, then just say that.
That's a lie, God. I know mine.
But I'm going to believe and trust in you.
Right. I'm a trusting God. Because when I've trusted in myself, ooh.
Let's not talk about
Let's not. Let's not. Oh my God. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode. Be sure to follow us on IG. We are Queenish_podcast. And if you have questions or need advice that you would like to be read on air on our episodes, please email us at queenishpod@gmail.com.
Bye.
Bye. See you next time.